We're gonna go this way.
We'll go over this way and talk to the YouTube folks.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, I am live off of a cell phone.
Hey everybody.
With Oliver.
So news here is that we are under tornado warning.
Also, you can see no power.
We have no power in the studio. We just got like our propane torches going to keep lights on here, and our emergency lights right over there. We had debris flying in through a window and break the window on us. The power's come up and down about 12 times.
In the past, like, 5 minutes.
It's been pretty crazy here today. So we're thinking probably no show. We're not going to count this as 282.
No power, no furnaces.
So we're just going to bump things out 1 week. So next week we'll have show 282. We'll handle giveaways, questions, all that during that time. Other news, all things are going on here. Aside from this weather, and for the people local, please stay safe today. Everyone else, I hope you're having better weather than we are. Things are moving here at the West Academy at blinding speeds. We just passed our plumbing inspection, all that's going along. We're doing a Ren Fair at Molly every weekend. Come see some of glass blowers. I was just there with Jake this past weekend and the other Oliver. We're doing a fantastic job. I'll be there this Saturday. You got Matt on Sunday and Monday.
See, we've got construction going on. Say hi to YouTube.
What up, YouTube?
So Oliver's been explaining our situation.
It's a situation. We've
It
got
is.
ourselves a situation here, folks.
So that's the YouTube. You got it going live.
I did. I
We got YouTube.
had to do
going on.
some things, but I did it.
So yeah, you probably stay live for a couple minutes. If you have any questions, holler at us. But in the meantime, here we're gonna pull our brains together and figure out what we got to do with the shop with the no power situation.
Yep. We're gonna lock it down. We'll hunker it down. Make sure everything's safe and sound. And
I'm pretty heavy out there.
our box number 4 is completely full. In fact, with 12 student pieces from a private event earlier. So with a little bit of mojo from you guys in our online community, we'll either hope that the power comes back on really soon, or within the next couple hours, I'm sure it'll be just fine. Or, you know, some sort of fire-breathing dragon comes in, keeps our box warm, and yields product for us.
Yeah. Have to get the fluffer and fluff the inside of the box.
Fluff it right down home. Yep.
But do we have the ability to check out any comments from the live stream at all, Best? We see
Let's
if
see.
we have any questions.
Hey, everybody. Nope.
We can show
Hi.
them the big giant pieces we blew yesterday in the annealing.
Hi, YouTube.
See, no.
Oh, no, wrong way.
Backward.
There's YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
I'm gonna flip my camera so it's not on my face. There we go.
Hey everybody.
So you guys can see everything's already powering down from when we fired it up.
So, yeah, Linda got us next week. Maybe power can get it off. Florida is winding down.
We are under, for those of you just joining, we are under tornado warning. All of our power has gone out. Actually, the power has flickered in and out about 12 times in the past 9 minutes, so that's been great. Wind has been absolutely crazy. We actually had something fly in and break a window, so that was an experience. Right up there, you can kind of see it. So we have no power right now. We were all set up and ready to go, and then that happened. So we're working on some things. Etta is locked away, safe and sound.
Edit is safe and sound.
That was our number one priority, to be honest.
Yeah, Bess and I immediately went on the Edda hunt and got her in the office.
So as of right now, even though tonight is supposed to be 282 Artistic Liberties, we are going to probably, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is raining.
Yeah.
Gas in the air.
But
You have to have electricity.
yeah, we are going to take a pause on that. So next week will most likely be 282.
Valve on it. Safety switch.
I'll let you guys come listen in.
The blower stops working and automatically shuts off the line of the gas going to the hole. So there's no double power going on. There's no gas flowing everywhere. And the furnace, like we were mentioning, is I feel like I'm on stage
We
here.
could do one of those Halo looking ones.
Want to go check out something?
You could be like he's telling a scary story.
Yeah.
Whoa.
1932.
We lost power.
Anyway, though, the furnace should fire back up whenever the power's back on, and hopefully it comes back on soon, so all our products safe and sound.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Glass shops with no sound. Like, none of these are glowing with numbers at all. Furnaces are quiet, there's no fans. The lone torch feels like a candle. Oh, the evening vigil.
Michelle's got Facebook going. I've got YouTube going.
Great time for questions.
Absolutely. We've got 16 people, 17 people on YouTube right now.
All right, YT.
28 on
28 on
Facebook.
Facebook.
FB,
Yes.
yeah, that's our on-demand community. And if you guys are just joining us and then somehow the algorithm kicks in, this is normally the gathering point time where this would have been show 282, our artistic inspiration show. So it's going to be pushed to next month, but we'll start back up next week and do the true show 282 because that's the way it works. And next week's going to be Goblet Show. So you'll want to join us then, 6 to 8 o'clock. 6 to 7:30. We're getting into the cooler months, but today was actually 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so we barely made it. But now it's coming down.
Asked, how about the new furnace? Will it be okay?
Dave, the new furnace is amazing. Yeah, it's very well insulated, and we noticed as the power was flickering on and off, back on again and off again, that the furnace would fire up within 30 seconds of it shutting off. Pretty incredible thing compared to before when you had to come in here and work a bunch of equipment and run out to the blower and turn it back on and come back in here and hope it stayed on. We got a state-of-the-art piece of equipment now. But like I was saying, the only thing that's really in danger is the annealing oven, which we did start blowing glass at 8 a.m. this morning. We had our first crew come in, Matt and a new buddy, or an old buddy, Jason, blowing glass. And they blew glass up until 4 o'clock. We did a private event in between 3 and 5, and then we were about to do our live show. So there's a lot of product in that box that hopefully power is going to come back and it'll keep it nice and strong.
Yes, that is the rain you guys hear. I know somebody asked that in the chat. Absolutely, you can hear that.
And if you just joined us, it was so crazy a minute ago that it actually broke through a window here in the studio. It just completely blasted a window. Chris said he saw a piece of wood fly through the window and break one of our windows up in the ceiling. It wasn't me this time. And it wasn't Oliver cleaning the windows or closing them. There we
Linda
go.
said, do you have food and blankets if you need to spend the night? No blankets needed because it's a zillion degrees still. We have tons of prop room fabric if we need it. So thank you, that's great. If it were winter, it'd be a different
We
story.
got some couches.
And,
Yeah, we got couches.
Oliver needs to do a model walk to show off his hair.
Oh yeah, so Oliver
Oh, that's a lot of light on me all at once.
There you go.
Whoa.
Whoa, look at that. Light
He's
hair.
not afraid of the camera. Look at that.
No, it's all gone, everybody. Donated 15 inches. Was excited
Wow.
to talk about that on this show today. But donated for Wigs for Kids in St. Clair Shores at their base headquarters location. It was a wonderful experience. The hairstylist was incredibly kind. And I donated enough to make a full wig, which is
That's awesome.
kind of rare.
Wow.
Thinking
Somebody's
about
gonna have a
hair.
really cool ginger wig.
Exactly. We got a lot of good photos out of it. Maybe we can share them with the team here and have it ready for the next live show.
Totally.
But it was just a really great experience, and we're gonna grow it out again and do it all over.
Do you think you'll know who does the wig? Like, is it like when you donate a lung or kidney or something that you meet the recipient?
Did they take a couple pictures of you?
Kayla came with me, and Kayla took a lot of photos. And I need to get those photos from her because she took some embarrassing ones, and I can't let this team have them, or I will never live it
I might
down.
have to message her pretty
I was gonna
fast.
say, so
'cause
you're
one of
saying I need
those-
to text Kayla.
Listen, I will handle things on my front, and I will disperse these photos directly from me. If it doesn't come from me directly, it was made by AI for surely. But we had a great time. It was wonderful. So I can wear my hair down at work again now, finally, and I have it tied up, so it feels pretty good.
Yeah, we did think it'd be a lot cooler than it was this week. The Ren Fair was rowdy. It was Oliver's first full power weekend, I would say, at the Ren Fair. And we got pretty sweaty out there. And then we got right back into it here on Tuesday.
Yeah. So,
Carrie says you are a good man, Oliver.
well, thank you. Thank you. Give me time. I might just change your mind.
Chris says, hi, Mom.
Nice. And we can show off the geodes. We got the next set established. We haven't shopped them yet, but we got the tech figured out much better. We'll take you through the dark shop here. Very eerie, but I do love a good storm.
It's so quiet in here because I'm used to hearing all of the noise in the hot shop.
Yeah. It's like super quiet.
Yes, the vent test was very successful. These guys have been.
It's the first batch that didn't work. But these, we will make some of these that can stand, and some of them that don't have sharp edges will be made available. This one in particular actually turned out really cool. There's a lot I want to improve on it, but
Did you show Robin when she came?
I didn't see Robin.
Oh, Robin came by yesterday.
It was
yesterday?
Sunday probably.
Sunday.
So that one's really cool. Also thought about maybe sending some of these slivers to the members. We could call them member slivers.
Oh yeah, Linda wants us to show the table. We'll show the table.
We'll show the table for sure. But these are the next new ones that I made in a different manner, and I made them solo, which I haven't done before. But you can see in
I
there
like the texture.
the crystalline mojo.
Can you turn your volume down, Chance?
We don't need the echo. But I also figured out a way to see how that bump's got that extra crystal there, and I'll be able to chop it, where some of these were just really straight up and perfectly symmetrical. This one will have some different thicknesses and different bits of action going on. This one I tried perfectly symmetrical.
cool.
Look at the yellow in there.
They are awesome.
And then there's a pink one, and that's like a bright orange, I think.
Do we,
Yeah.
Jake? You want to just like find a spot to pop a squat for a little bit? Maybe just do like a 30-minute Q&A with the people who are watching us today.
Yeah, let's not put a number on it, but we can Q&A it for sure.
Q&A. for a little
Let's
bit.
do a drive-by by the table.
Yep, they're asking about the
Oh,
table.
that's right, the product table.
And I want to do a shout out to Bess. I was like, Bess, I don't know, what do we do? She's like, okay, you can take those phones, go live. My phone will be the flash phone. So
That's right.
very cool. All right, well, I can't check the website, but I'm gonna say that everything's gonna go live at
10
6:30,
minutes.
like normal.
Did you even get a chance to look at this table yet, Mom?
No,
Well,
there it is.
nobody confirmed the addition of 2 snowmen, except
you
for
mean,
me. I
confirmed?
just picked them out, and I didn't ask anybody's permission if we could put 2
Put 'em on
snowmen
there?
on the
We put
show.
them on.
But,
We said it was how we were staying cool. 'Cause it
oh,
was
so you
hot.
did see the snowmen? Okay.
Well, did you not read the e-news?
Did
Oh.
you read the e-news, Jake?
Come on, Jake.
I was at the Ren Fair.
The e-news came out today.
I was doing a lot today. we were recovering. I got 2 quotes on a new garage door.
I can kick on the generator and we can plug in the furnace.
This is what the question is tonight. What would you name this? I mean, this is such a stunning pattern. So I guess we did show that.
I haven't shown YouTube. So we're showing YouTube
Oh,
for the
nice.
first time. So same style glass.
Look at how
That's
cool.
really cool on the inside there. 2 different color patterns, so you guys can see that. So this is our table for tonight. Still does go live.
Number
I like the
7.
solid base on that.
Oh my God, it's so good. So like you could use it for beverages and shots,
Or
like
Q-tips.
mead, Q-tips. You could use it for flowers. I think that one's just adorable.
I love the coloring in this too.
This is the last of the white tank, folks, here at number 12. We've saved a few of those to kind of distribute them throughout the year, and it's pretty awesome. Oh, do I see Amy on there watching?
You do.
Oh, she on
What up,
YouTube?
Amy? Let's get it.
Woo woo! Stay safe. Hope you are not having pouring rain where you are.
This is the giveaway that was supposed to be given away
Someone's
this week.
still gonna win that.
Someone
gonna win it
Someone
real
who's
good.
on this, and I know they're still on here because I see a comment every now and then. I love this one.
Was that the cactus
Shoddy,
Yeah.
something?
Super Blaster,
Yeah.
Power Slammer.
Oh, so do you want to sit down by the door? Where do you think?
What would be the most eye-shocking to sit down next to?
Eye
Eye shocking.
Most eye-shocking to sit down next.
The fact that they're like, this is completely off, or anything that's dark, or anything? I mean,
No, but
You want
then
the
it's harder to
conference
see.
room?
Let's just sit by the back door. Let's pull chairs over there.
By the back door.
Yeah. Little fresh air. We're all hot in here.
You guys gotta face towards the shop, and we gotta have the light on us.
and then you'll hear the sound of the rain as well.
Yeah.
We could move the fan out of the way, and those lights might be enough.
We probably want to be like right here, Jake.
Yeah.
I'll grab the chair to do that.
Thanks.
Jake, could you do a flip, please?
A what?
A flip.
On the rings.
All I can do is, I'll break my wrists. I've tried.
I'll break my wrist.
I can get straight up and down. Let's see it, Oliver.
Straight up and down.
Good evening, Christina, Linda. We are still here. We're going to do a little Q&A. So if you guys have questions, shout them out. Now is your chance to get interviews.
If you guys had an opportunity to name this move that Oliver's about to do, what would you name it? I'm going to call it the pencil pull-up.
I think it's a pencil pull-up.
No, it's
Seriously?
not, is
It
it?
has a name?
I would imagine it would have to be called that.
Oh,
What
okay.
else could you call it?
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Whoa.
Impressive.
And he went down the opposite way.
For those of you just joining, the reason Oliver is doing flips is because we are under tornado warning. Power is currently out, so we're going to do a little impromptu Q&A here.
It's rolling thunder. The rain has slowed down. Doesn't feel very windy, so we feel pretty safe being right here. All is well.
So there's no glass action happening, but we'll just start this by giving a quick rundown of what happened throughout the weekend and up until this point. There's a ton of things going on, and if you have questions, let us know.
Yeah, get your question in while we're talking here.
Linda's going to grab some snacks.
And if there's no questions, you guys, and you're all just ready for the glass action next week, then just know we'll be back in action next week, and everything's going to be in order, and that will be the true show 282.
Yep.
I don't know. It could be like A and B. There's nothing false about this show.
282B.
Yeah, this show is real.
So I guess we could start by saying that the Renaissance Festival is out of control. It was a beautiful weekend. It was super hot and super crazy. Oliver was out there full both days, worked on the microphone, did an amazing job, made a couple pieces, made his first ever
Mug.
sold it off the pipe.
Made my first ever snail.
First ever snail, first ever mug.
Since we're both sitting, can you guys scoot up?
Yeah.
Wendy, that'd be nice to have mics. I would love it, but we don't have power. So
First ever snail, first ever mug that Oliver made, and he made it at the fair, and we auctioned him off of the pipe, and the mug almost went for full price. The snail was about darn close to full price too.
Yeah.
Historical product. So that was pretty incredible.
That was intense. And making the mug was not like, that wasn't a situation where I had Jake helping me out.
I
Or
left him
Jake
on
be
stage.
in my ear telling me like the next steps. I watched Jake say, go make a mug, and then I watched him walk in the opposite direction of me. And we figured it out with, I don't want to call him Oliver, but I don't know his last name. What
Little
was it?
Oliver or
Little
Olivier.
Olivier, Little Oliver. We have another Oliver that helps out during Renaissance Festival, and him and I worked together and made that mug.
and he's not like little tiny. He's just little because he's young.
Young.
He's
He
just
started
younger.
as a kid.
Yeah.
And he's doing an amazing job. And you guys will meet him, I'm sure, someday or when we go do a live video out there at the Ren Fair. But it was pretty cool having them work together. They both work well together. Got that Oliver mojo.
Yeah. The double Oliver special.
We got a question coming in.
We do. Mary asked, what's the most product you've lost in the annealer? And then she goes on to ask, like, money-wise.
Oh.
I've never had any serious traumatic. It had to be these geodes, honestly, for me. I mean, I spent a lot of time. I didn't really get to talk about it last show because that show didn't happen. But the day that we made the geodes, it took like maybe 3 hours to make like those ones we just showed you. There were 4 of them. I made like 7 or 8 on the first run. And we finished up the day at like 4 o'clock, and I went home and cooked some food and came back at 5 and worked from 5 till 11:30 at night, cutting and polishing them. And that was a lot of time. And then to put them in the annealing oven 2 days later, slowly bring them up, a slower cycle. I brought it up over like 3 hours having the annealer on. And then within like the last 10 minutes to watch them all slump over and fall on each other and not really be worth anything, just these balls of glass.
That was really tough because it really did boil down to a matter of 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
we
that
were
was
like,
tough
it
all
was
that time.
12:50. We like went in there, torched it, and then we were like, let's just crank it up an extra 20 degrees. We'll be back in 10 minutes. And we came back and they had all completely slumped over and were no good.
That was a tough day.
However, that wasn't like, that was user error. That wasn't nature.
Yeah, power outage sort of deal.
I think
Yeah.
last year when we lost the classes, we had to not do classes. The crucible cracked.
I guess that's better than being before the products were made, because once the class has been done, if we lose all the product, then that's a funky scenario. But that hasn't happened and probably won't happen. So
Yeah.
I think we're
Sharon said she watched the storm go by and it was pretty crazy, but it's gone. And
Awesome.
she's in a town 20 minutes away, maybe.
Yeah, it is slowing down a lot over here too. It's kind of just drizzling back there, but. So anywho, then we have Mondays off, and then Mondays off means that Chris and I are here at 8 a.m. at the studio, and we had a really powerful day of getting a bunch done, including those spheres that we showed off over there about like 10 minutes ago. They were like this big, and we came in here and just blew some giant lampshades, me, Chris, and Nolan, and it was a pretty powerful morning.
Dang.
And that was pretty nice to do. And then something else happened. There were a lot of contractors in here, which was awesome.
I slept on Monday. That's what I did. I slept the entirety of Monday away.
I did go to bed at I don't know about Sunday, but Monday night I went to bed at like 10 o'clock and woke up and felt very, very good. 10 o'clock's pretty early.
Bess, do you have any questions on yours? Because I got a couple more.
You can keep going. We're kind of just commenting over here, but no questions.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Dave Worth asked, what are the different, I'm paraphrasing Dave, sorry. What are the different conditions at Renfest? How is it different than being in the studio?
Oh my God. It's the opposite. Go ahead.
So here it feels like we're on home turf. And when you're at Renaissance Festival, you're out in the wilderness and you're out in the open air, and it can rain on you. Heaven forbid it snows on you, but you have like no control over the breeze or anything like that. And it's the best way I could put it is that it's like being on a live show, but for 12 continuous hours every day, while being in the open elements.
Yeah, and the stage is like not even back to that table. It's about to the edge of that table from where you guys are viewing from.
Yeah, it's
And
way
it's like,
smaller.
we get you get 75 to 100 people watching, and we got a microphone. That's a cool part. It changes the atmosphere because we're talking through a microphone to the crowd versus anyone being able to talk at any moment and talking to the camera. So that makes you mentally think a little bit differently about it.
But then it's like all the equipment side by side. So on like where I'm standing right now is the furnace, where Jake is the glory hole, and then where this box is the annealing oven, and that's the spacing of everything. So we're in a smaller confined space. All our heat sources are in one area, so like you really just are cooking on stage.
And the equipment is probably the biggest thing that's completely different. And for a new glass blower, I think it's a great lesson for these guys and for little Oliver to learn only blowing glass with that equipment. He's never came here and blown glass before, but I mean, it's like the pipes and the tools and everything is so expensive in the glass industry. It's $200 for the smallest punny that you're gonna get in your regular nice punny. So we have pipes and pieces and things, tools that have been around for 15 years, like the furnace, that we have 3 sets of tools, one for the mobile unit, one for the Ren Fair, and one for here. And those tools are grundly. They are grizzled, and they have been around a long time.
They are medieval,
They're rusty,
to say the least.
They're pointy, like they look like a dagger, some of the punnies. It's like you gotta do what you're doing completely different because the equipment is completely different. The tools don't cut the same, the pipes get hot being in that really enclosed area. I'm like holding the pipe in the back like 2/3, making this like crazy goblet, and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, if you're in the local area and you see us on the live show, maybe you've come to our Dearborn studio before and seen us do live demonstrations, classes, all this stuff, but you've never been to the Renaissance Festival, it's definitely worth coming out and seeing us in a like wholly different environment. We are on a whole different game out there at Renaissance Festival than here at the live show.
And I think we did a video last year, and I understand not everyone can come visit either.
I was just
so-
going to say, this weekend I'll be out there, so I'll jump on stage and get some
Perfect.
live videos of it.
Absolutely.
So
And
watch
we'll give you the
Facebook.
details. Maybe if we're in the morning, or maybe if it's towards the end of the day or whatever, we get in between your show, I'll go up and we'll walk through some of the equipment and show you guys what we're talking about. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, a question here from Sharon who says, number one, it's cool now. She doesn't have to plug her fans in. It's cooled off, so that's coming.
Yeah.
But she asked, what is the lifespan of the tools?
Depends on how you care for them.
Depends on who's using them. So
That's a fact.
I think about that with the blocks a lot. Like Jake and Chris can make our blocks go for a very, very long time, but we have some that are dedicated for class usage only because in that environment they get used a little bit.
Roughly.
Not as intended, maybe. And I see that those are lasting maybe 6-ish months, typically is what I'm seeing on those.
Yeah, one of those tools that needs continual upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
But there's rust, and it's the bentness of the tools, the tender care you put into things makes a big difference. And it's kind of like your room, you know, if I've mentioned this analogy before, when 1 or 2 pieces of clothes hit the ground because you're in a hurry, it's a lot easier for a third piece of clothing to hit the floor than the very first piece of
I
clothing.
can't remember the last time I saw clothing on the floor in my house. It's such a funny analogy.
Only in
That
the
would-
Renaissance times does clothing hit the floor for me, and it's because it's just out of control. But
That would absolutely never happen in my house.
It is so funny
Would
how we
never happen
have
now,
things.
right?
I will
But-
say with the tools too, like I have my own hand tools. Sometimes we have shop tools, but we each have our own hand tools. I don't blow that often. The tools will last my whole entire life,
Completely.
right?
And
But-
it's totally the make of the tool too. If we just look at just the jacks, it's like the quality of the tool, what it's made for, how often you're using it, and the maintenance. I mean, if you're the type of glass blower that's blowing glass cold, and you've got a tool made for really high crafted, delicate pieces, and you're crunching into the glass and you hear that sound, then the tool is going to get a big divot in it. It's not going to last. So it's just taking care of your tools makes a big difference. You got
Sharon.
2 questions.
I was just gonna say Norman doesn't have a question. He just commented on what you said and said waiting on an order of pipes and punties to ship. Sticker shock is a real thing.
Yeah. And,
What's
and
going
Sharon,
on?
next time you come in, we can show you the difference between like the brand new Maruko jacks that Jake's been using on the live show versus our student jacks. And that'll give you a big picture of like how much wear and tear you
Yeah.
see.
Hey, Annette, I'm going to come back to you, but Sharon, just because you said this, I think it's interesting. Do you have to season any of the tools? Like you would season a cast iron before you use it?
Salt and pepper, baby.
All over it. I've heard of people doing that with their jacks, and I've never put enough time and effort into learning about it. Some people put gunmetalling on their tools, not the actual blade that's cutting the glass, but the rest of the tool to keep rust off it and keep it from kind of like, you know, anything creeping into the blade area. But really just using them well and putting wax on them and not working the glass the way it shouldn't be worked. It's like tweezers going into the diamond mold is a horrible thing. Straight shears cutting cold glass or getting near the wax will cause problems. If shears hit the floor, things get dented, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much the main thing.
Okay, Annette asks, Oliver, how did you get into glass blowing? I think it's an unusual path, so.
That is a good breeze. I discovered the Glass Academy through the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, you
So,
did? I did not know
yeah.
that.
So about 2 years ago now, was like my second or third year going to the Renaissance Festival with my fiance Kayla. Kayla's been going to the Renaissance Festival for like 10, 11 years now. And every year she buys an ornament from the Glass Academy
What?
booth, and it's like a Christmas gift for her mom. So around the third time, I was watching it, and with my background and how long I've been dabbling in being a creator in a very different mediums, I understood like the challenge to what was going on there and the craftsmanship involved, and that really interested me. And I said that to Kayla, and Kayla said, cool, so next week we'll come back and you can apply.
What?
And I said, wait, what are you talking about? And she said, yeah, you could, listen, don't beat around the bush. Make a resume, come back here, apply, see what happens. Worst they do is say no. And I came up at the
Wow.
end of the day after the big show at 6 o'clock, gave Jake my resume, and he looked at it and said, have you ever worked with glass before? And I said, no. And he said, well, I guess we can give you a chance.
Do you remember this conversation, Jake?
I remember.
And haven't looked back since.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
baby.
came out
Moved from Indiana.
Moved from Indiana. That made sense for me. I was living in Indiana, and I was liking what I was doing out there, but my family's all here in Michigan, so is Kayla's. So being in the Dearborn, like Detroit metro area brings us a lot closer to our families, which is nice. Makes it easier to get out for visits. And come on, being a glass blower is pretty sweet, so I can't pass that up.
And he's doing great.
Well, thank you.
Okay, we got one from Dave. Dave says he has a frit addiction. To be clear, that is colored glass that's melted and crushed up.
Okay.
And color can be expensive. So he says, I have a frit addiction that I will need to delay retirement to keep feeding. Have you ever made your own frit from bar stock?
Yeah, before I came home, they used to, my parents and the before COVID Glass Academy, and they had a mortal,
Hello.
Mortar and pestle?
yeah,
Gotcha.
that's the one. And yeah, they would smash it up, but it wasn't really consistent. I saw that, and I you know, it was an option, and I don't really enjoy the way it looks because it's powdery and it's big, chunky, and flaky, and it could be used in certain ways, but I haven't found a nice way that I enjoy using it. However, I will say that the frit addiction is real, and sometimes it's nice, just like in anything in glass blowing, when we're as blessed as we are to have a frit bin or trough, if you will, of all the rainbow colors. Sometimes you got to step back, and just like with the raw material, the clear glass, and look at it and remember the feeling of getting your first little jar of frit and experimenting with one color and trying the next one, and the beauty of the just natural beauty of the fact that the color's made from metals and minerals, and it just comes out as all these glorious colors. It's a really beautiful thing, and we're pretty blessed to have quite the array of colors.
Could I ask a question for you on behalf of Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Would you make a color recommendation for him to try next to their color that you think he should try experimenting with a little bit?
Without knowing Dave's color palette, if he doesn't already have iris gold, that's a classic, and I would take that color, and although it's a pricey one and you could have bad reactions, I would test that color with all of the other colors that you have.
Iris on top of those other colors?
And underneath. It does a really crazy thing with yellow. It does some crazy things with different opaque greens. With ruby, it acts in a totally crazy way.
Ruby's sweet.
And yeah, I think that's a versatile color that any amateur glass blower should have in their bag, no matter the make and model or the
Manufacturer.
manufacturer.
Make and model. I'm like,
Yeah.
Ford, GM, Chrysler, what?
Get yourself some Toyota Iris Gold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Iris Gold. There you go, Dave. Add that one to the list and just bump out retirement another 6 months.
Yep. Yep.
All right, any YouTube you got?
We're quiet over here.
Quiet on YouTube. All right, we'll shut it down, figure out what we're doing here behind us, and
I think we should
pack things up.
pack it up.
Yeah, because we got to think about what we do with the annealer. Dad offered to turn the generator on, but then he just left, so we got to think about what we want to do.
Sweet.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being strong and sticking with us today. We appreciate it. We'll get back on show 282, part B,
There you go.
next week. And
Dave says thank you. He has some iris gold to try. Housekeeping, I think that the table went live. So that table will stay up all week. You can check it out. And Sam created a short that we're going to release, so it'll be pretty cool.
all
Stay
right.
tuned for that.
And then we'll do the giveaway for this week next week.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep, we'll
and
handle
the
all the giveaway
survey and
stuff.
all of that.
Yep.
So everyone's saying thank you. Lots of thumbs up going by. We'll see you on Tuesday.
All right.
Have
All right,
a wonderful
everybody, take
night.
care.
I'll be back.